Hello and good morning, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the, I guess, unnamed series. I'm calling it Millau for now on. It's based on the Millau map, so it just makes sense, but we might change it if we find a better name. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to, I guess, overlook the main feature of the map, the big bridge, but anyway, I hope you had a good day so far. I don't know when you're watching this or when I'm even releasing this, but yeah, last time we built this small town here. That's the last video, or the first video, I suppose, the episode 1. Because we got the trains going through. I have gone in and changed or played around with the color settings a little bit and the graphic settings in general. So let me know if you think it's an improvement or something like that. I'll probably keep playing with it, but that's not super important right now. We did build this town, but I have also noticed we built it in a way that caused some problems. I called it Première Ville right now, which is supposed to mean, by Google Translate at least, first village, but we're definitely changing that. You can see we have some land value issues and some not enough workers. That's probably just the realistic population being realistic. Not much we can do about that, I think. But we can do something about the land value. I'm gonna test something out here. I'm gonna use the advanced, what's it called? Advanced building level control mod, and I'm gonna try to downgrade all the buildings in this district. I've already made them all historical by placing them, but we can force the whole district to be historical, and now we can just downgrade, and if we actually downgrade it all the way to the lowest level, is that gonna work? That's not gonna work. You can't do it on a... You can't actually do it on a district level. Okay, let's do it on individual buildings then and see if that works. The idea is that they shouldn't complain as much if they are lower level. And then they can upgrade back to the sort of the level that's appropriate for them. I mean, nobody's even living here, so... I do not know if this works. The reason why these are level 5 is because when we plopped them, I didn't really take into account like which building level they had, so some of them would have been like level 5 from the start, and that might be the cause of this issue. It's not super clear if it actually worked, though. Oh, one icon disappeared. Let's see if others do it as well. Yes, it seems like it's working. So that's nice. That should mean that these buildings now, people can move in and sort of, you know, they can start function again instead of just complaining about land value. Yeah. Nice. It's a shame we couldn't do it on the district level though, but it's fine. That's fine. And once these are sort of down to level 1 again, they will like naturally upgrade to whatever is the most appropriate level for them. So that's nice. Another thing I just realized we completely forgot in this town is we forgot to place the crematorium, which is an important service. We could place a cemetery, I suppose. I think we want to maybe be more careful about using the cemetery. The cemetery is cool in that it has a church. It's like one of the only churches in the game. And of course, we kind of need, like, we want to use that, but I don't think we have any good spots in this particular town. So we're just going to be happy with the crematorium for now. It should be like a... We'll have to probably replace some house somewhere with it, I think. Some buildings. I want to have it on this side of a rail line so it doesn't have to cross unnecessarily. I'm so fond of all the houses we plopped though. How does it look? It has the parking on that side, okay. Like maybe out here on the main road, these houses are a little bit, say, less ideal. Or we even do it on the other side. I said on this side of the rail line, and I do it just completely opposite, but I think the best location is probably like here. Would have to delete one house though. How does it look in a place like that, for example? Can we get this house in somewhere else or in some other way? Oh, you know what we could try? We could try to just rotate it using that trick again. That way we get the parking lot facing the road, which is kind of nice, I suppose. Oh, you know what we should do actually? Let's get this building back in here. I like that building. I don't mind this building so much. Let's do something like this instead. Have it at that level. We'll like move this entire row of buildings here just a slight bit, so we get. Oof, it's a bit on the edge, but it's fine. Now we can slope the buildings using MoveIt. Honestly, those bushes don't need to exist at all, so just delete them. It's a little bit wonky. Maybe we'll figure out something better eventually, but I think it's decent. If we do it like this, maybe if we just move these guys also a little bit. The big issue is the slope. I mean, it's not a big issue actually at all. Like, let's even do this, to be honest. Let's use our first surface paint on the map, I think. Can raise it a little bit, like that. Okay, that's enough nerding for that. But now we at least have a crematorium building on the map. Or in the town, I suppose. What I want to do today, I was talking about expanding out this way and creating potentially a town here with a rail station, another rail station. We might still do the railway station. We might have it like be an almost abandoned railway station, but I've sort of walked away, or like sort of transitioned away from that idea a little bit into maybe doing this more of just a rest stop or some kind of gas station on the roundabout. We will do a road though. We will definitely do a road that connects this roundabout up with this road here. Currently you have to take this route down here, which feels a little bit weird. You have to go up quite a bit and then go down, and it's seeing a lot of traffic as well. Like, doing something like that would definitely be a good shortcut, and I think it would work. The problem is if we created a town around this road, it would be a very sort of there would be a lot of traffic through the town, and I don't know if that's super great, but that's the idea anyway. So I'm gonna have a look at the contour lines. gonna turn on the contour lines here and like make a plan on how to get a road from here to around here somewhere. I'm gonna make some marker. The reason why I wanted like connecting down here is because it's quite like this road here goes up quite the hill, and we would almost certainly have to do some kind of switchback to get up there, and it would be a little bit awkward. Like I think following the valley here makes more sense, and then we can eventually like put farms down and like put some kind of other like other stuff, maybe even like small hamlets, just small sort of groups of houses along the road. I want to add that more of that stuff eventually anyway, so but excuse me. Okay, so that's the plan. I am going to hop into time-lapse mode and build this road. Okay, so it's less awkward this time, but it still feels awkward. So basically, I recorded this video before I guess the first episode went public, and I got to see the sort of incredible reception it got. I was not expecting any of that, and I was not expecting so many of you guys to like this. I'm kind of fine with doing weird stuff, like my own thing right now. This is for me. I'm doing this for myself. But I was kind of blown away how many of you guys genuinely seem to like it, and it was extremely motivating to read all your comments, and it made me so it made my day. I mean, I guess it made more than my day, but it made me very happy, and I'm really motivated to continue this now, and because of it. Special thanks to Overcharged Egg, and the second video we mentioned Egg, but he actually did a channel post that I know that a lot of you guys might have come over from because of that. So I really appreciate the shout out, and yeah. Just if anybody somehow knows my channel but not Overcharged Egg's channel, you should definitely check them out. They are an incredible creator. Really good vanilla sort of vanilla plus vanilla style player that creates creates complete and full cities like it's nothing. Like this is something that most of us are really struggling with it, but Overcharged Egg actually like just has so many different city builds, and they managed to record it, and it's really the holy grail for me, like to be able to build a city and record the full thing like that. That's really hard, but yeah, really thankful and happy I got to save it. Now I missed the entire time lapse of me building the road, but you can see there's a lot of things going on. I'm first dragging stuff out and then using MoveIt a lot to fix it, and I'm using network multitool to fix the slopes, and I'm moving the nodes a bit more. It's a lot of back and forth. I'm playing around with network anarchy as well to change the heights of the networks, or the sort of the ground level to elevate it and back and forth. Like in this case here, it creates a really nice embankment effect that you don't really have a bridge, like a full bridge made out of concrete or something like that, if you don't really need it. So I would like to put this embankment up until as long as possible, basically. Just nerdy things I think about. The bridge I used, the green bridge over the river, is from the content creator pack, Bridges and Piers by Armesto. I'm just so happy to finally use it. I don't use it enough at all, but it's a really nice looking bridge, and I think I do some talking about it later in the live play, how I get it to look just a little bit better, because when you kind of only want to have, like, in most cases you maybe only want to have one sort of arched or like one truss span, and if you have that and then switch to a different road, the nodes will be a bit squished. But I think I talk about that in a bit. You can see I connected like to a normal road for a little bit, like a normal road bridge just before the truss segment starts. Oh my god, I can talk for ages about bridges. It's like I am very much like a massive bridge nerd. I mean, as you might expect, like from someone who made this map and all the other sort of vanilla bridges and monorail track stuff. I really like to make. And most of the bridges I make, by the way, like with monorail tracks and stuff like that, I upload it to a site called All Builds, and you can like download them as MoveIt export if you want to use them yourself in your cities, or for that matter, if you want to use them on a map you're making and stuff like that. So I'm like super excited to share this site with everybody because I think it's amazing. Sharing MoveIt exports. I'm probably definitely gonna like do a more proper showcase of it in future episodes. It's definitely one of the ideas I want to do. Yes. I know I have some better plans about intersections and IMT in the future. Here I copy and paste the intersection we did from last episode, so we don't waste at least 10 minutes doing the IMT stuff, but I'm thinking more and more that maybe this stuff belongs either super much more sort of fast-paced, like you sort of zoom past it, or we do it like in live streams or just off stream, and because it's not all that interesting once you've seen it a few times, but like, I mean, there's definitely a possibility to do like IMT showcases, like see what you can do, because I have so many cool things I want to show with IMT, but it's not necessarily the junctions. And also there's another, you guys are gonna notice it in the next episode, so I might as well take it up right now. I had a long sort of talk about why I think the old node controller is better, and I'm still using it here. I actually downgrade. I actually switched it out. I'm using the new one now. I had to do it because the old node controller, unfortunately, is not maintained and updated anymore. So there's a few bugs with it that I've discovered that are kind of annoying. It doesn't update. It doesn't always update the nodes and when you load, so you have to sort of manually click on stuff for it to update stuff like slopes, which is really frustrating because it means every time you load, a lot of junctions would be very weird, and I couldn't handle it. I thought I couldn't use the new node controller, but I had a session when I just looked at it with some friends who knew it much better than me, and basically I'm gonna learn it. I've decided I'm gonna learn it. It seems it can do most of the things I want to do with it. I still think it's a little bit limited potentially, but it looks like it can do more than I thought, especially in regard to the rails. I need it for the idea I have for the main train station eventually, and like for the rail infrastructure. I have big plans for that, by the way. I have also very big hypothetical plans, but I guess I don't want to spoil that too much right now, especially, and it's also very early. We might just not. There's rail stuff. There's a lot of rail stuff coming. That's the point. I also once I did switch to the new node controller, I did go through the map and update a lot of the nodes. So that's gonna be something you see in the future. Oh, and the time lapse is over. Yeah. See you. Yeah, I think that's done. That's the road. We also did some more IMT work. As you can see, I copied and pasted a lot of the stuff we did last episode, so we didn't have to redo all the lines from scratch, at least. That's a really good method that Will CS taught me a long time ago. I was doing it individually for each junction before, but you can see it's already getting used, this nice scenic little bypass drive. I also am really happy with getting to use that content creator pack truss bridge. It's an American, like it says it's an American bridge, but I think it's just great for this kind of rural, olden setting, I guess. It's just beautiful. I did do a trick here, which I can show. If you, for example, do just one of these bridges, actually, let's do it like this instead. This is better. I'm gonna copy and paste this here. I'm gonna raise it so we get it above the trees. Like, look how the shape distorts if we upgrade the sort of approaching roads to the highway roads, like that. It just gets a little bit more squished, as you can see. Also, I guess it also does create this nice foundation piece, which we could have used, but I don't like how the sort of end of the arch is squished. I think doing it this way, by having the approaching roads be normal elevated road bridge assets, like the vanilla two-way road, works much better, and it creates a nice transition. So I'm also thinking about a little bit more like, what are the speed limits on these roads? Should we like go in and change the speed limits? Because I feel like people are driving way too quick on these roads, especially in free speed, but I think they're generally driving a little bit too quick, and if we're driving quicker and the speed limit is higher, that's going to affect the pathfinding, so we might have to do some of that to avoid having people sort of take shortcuts too much through the countryside. But yeah, I really like how that road turned out, to be honest. Doesn't have to be much, it doesn't have to be that complicated, but just makes sense. I was very close to including a road like this on the map, but eventually didn't. To get some building in here, I kind of think I should also add a sort of rest stop or some kind of gas station complex here. I think it would be a fun addition. I can't quite decide if we're doing it on this side or this side. I think this side, to be honest. We've kind of set ourselves up to be able to do a small, like a very small sort of settlement or town here. Like, we can put a railway station in here if we wanted to, it's possible. Just not quite yet is the plan anyway. Let's build that gas station. I did just notice a problem with having the gas station on this side. A lot of cars will actually probably use this to make U-turns back on the highway, or back to the outside connection. I don't want that. Let's do it on this side instead. Yeah, so moving the gas station over here, I think is going to be a better choice, because as you can see, some cars are just sort of using that as a way to turn back to the outside connection. I would prefer if they use the roundabout for that. We could also alternatively use mods that sort of disable that kind of dummy traffic, but and to be honest, I thought they had them enabled already, but it seems I don't, so it is what it is. Here I'm playing around with like a few like road ideas and like how to access this gas station thing, and initially I thought this was going to be a very sort of quick, like less than a minute kind of a build, but This gas station turns into quite the detail build, which is not something I'm that used to. I'm using these really small 1x1 buildings. You can see I'm like staggering them and basically trying to create my own custom looking gas station. Maybe that's gonna be like the topic, the title of this video. I was thinking of it would be more about the road initially, but yeah, maybe this gas station is pretty interesting. It's a very small build. Like it must feel pretty anticlimactic compared to the first episode when we built an entire village, like with pretty much everything that includes like that's needed for that village. But I still think this is an important step where we've covered a large part of the map, even though we have literally only put down like 4 or 5 buildings on it. So it's an important step, even though it might feel very sort of anticlimactic and small. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think there's still some playing around I do with. Yeah, there's the Merca side, the pylon, the advertisement pylon. That's such a great detail prop, and it's vanilla. It might only be enabled if you're enabling the European style in the content manager, but that is a fully vanilla setting you can do. So it's a part of the hypermarket asset, I believe, or it's not a part of it. It's sort of a prop that's meant for that asset. But yeah, so I do go in and detail this a lot more with IMT and props and decals, and I unfortunately don't really record all of that, but yeah, I hope you can forgive me this time. I'll try my best to get better. Here you can see I used that will CS trick again to copy and paste intersection marking presets from the other side of a map just to get them in here. Yeah, and doing some quick TMP stuff. TMP stuff is another thing I would consider it the same way as we do IMT and node controller. Maybe more for live stream, maybe just off stream, maybe just sort of cut a lot of it out, not all of it, but yeah. You can also see I'm struggling with money right now. That's gonna, yeah. I'm not playing the game with money right now, and I think I talk about that in a little bit. But so far the city is not profitable, and I'm losing money. But eventually we'll figure that out. Okay, now we're finally done. I think you can see I left this sort of dead end road, kind of cul-de-sac thing here. I think this is where, if we decide to build a town here, this is where we expand. Like, we use this road, go down here, and snakes back along the rail line on this side, and maybe a level crossing up here. It's not a main road anymore, so we can have crossings, and also probably crosses over here to access this side. So if we decide to expand here, we should be able to do it. I haven't quite decided if we should have the dead end or not. Let's have the dead end. I don't mind it. Kind of like it. Maybe we do some IMT stuff here later. It's fine. Oh, we have. I'm gonna reject that. Let's talk about money. I ran out of money here. I don't know why or how, but I guess I'm not making any money. We could use Game Anarchy to fix money, or we can just use Dev UI, which is a thing I've enabled in the game, to give ourselves some money until we figure out our town and make it profitable. Right now, it's not. It's going to be profitable eventually. We're gonna make sure it is, but right now, for the start, we don't really care so much. Or I don't really care so much, I'm sorry. This is definitely more of an aesthetic, detailer style build. So here's a little final trick for this, actually. I did realize that when cars started parking here, we could make this thing a bit better and more compact and actually look like the cars are sort of parking to fill up fuel if we move the buildings and the parking lots closer together, or the buildings and the, what do you call them, the networks. So I'm gonna try this out. And you can see, like, in that case there, yeah. Okay, I'm excited about this actually. Like, that's not a functional fuel station, but it looks a little bit better. We might need to move this guy a little bit. So it's network just to make the pavement transition a bit better. Okay, I like that. We may need to do some trickery here. I would love to see if cars actually clip through, or I'm gonna add another node here. Oh, okay, because like so. That way we remove that sign that was kind of in the way, so that's nice. Now we can use TMP to sort of select where people are supposed to park. I don't want them parking there, I think. I don't think I want them parking there either. But I absolutely don't mind them parking on that side, yeah? Okay, there's one more final detail we can actually do here, and I'm kind of excited about it. We can add asphalt. Since a few updates back, IMT allows you to add asphalt, and basically how it will look like is something like this. Let's do something. Should we keep that island? I don't know. I already tested, and you see we can have a perfect transition, and we can basically do that for all these paths here. I think that's gonna look so good, so I'm gonna add like a small time lapse of doing that as well. Hello, I'm back from the future. I'm recording this a few days later, and I actually did do some edits and some final detailing on this gas station that I kind of want to show. And I want to show some tricks because I unfortunately didn't record, I didn't think about it. I just started doing a small thing with like the decals, and then it got carried away, and but it's nothing super weird. I've placed prop cars for now, for the moment. I have used IMT to create these dashed markings here for this fueling vehicle. I've placed some sort of props that look like they could be a underground storage for fuel, maybe. I have added put some decals on top, some vanilla decals. Decals. Like a fake parking lot here. I've changed the colors of these buildings, the gas stations, using the repaint mod, I believe it's called. Created some parking lots here, parked the caravan, which I thought was fitting, and placed a few props around the place. So that's like what I'd want to show. I'm not sure why I can't seem to zoom in any further. That's interesting. Okay. You see, there's a common problem with placing like, if you want to place like a parasol and a bench together, let's see here, bench or table. It's gonna be called a table, I think. Yeah, let's use it like this guy here. If you want to place them together and you're extremely nerdy that the parasol goes in the exact middle, you can always eyeball it. That's actually, oh my goodness. Yeah, that could work. The MoveIt, I'm just pressing the minus key and the plus key with MoveIt, and that moves the selection like into the common center, but it didn't really work as I thought it would work here. But I have a better way of aligning these perfectly. Like, this is super easy. It's also related to MoveIt, and I'm gonna show you. Basically what we do is we can align the props like this. We can like just put 3 props on a line. Like, it might not make any sense right now, but we're using the line up objects with these 3 objects, right? Now if we copy one of these benches like into the rough center, and we select these 2 outer benches again and line up, now you have a bench and a parasol that are perfectly in the same position because we've used these 2 outer props to line them. That's just a small little extra bonus trick for MoveIt that I thought was really funny. I'm considering maybe we should replace these benches. Yeah, let's replace these benches here. Just gonna completely replace. Can I have one more? I'm not sure what kind of seating area or what kind of thing this would be. Some kind of restaurant. I have no idea. Let's change the color to a bit more. If we can, like, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah. Some kind of roadside restaurant. Like, not really. Like, it's basically just the gas station. You would get like maybe some basic burgers, or you would bring your own meal to this place. But anyway, that was the last edit of this episode. The last thing we add. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to press record when doing these edits, but we're getting there. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode when we do go all the way up the valley. And start on the outskirts of town on this slot here. I'm just itching to start. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah, see you guys next time.